I'm John Gibson, and this is my wife,
Candace,
and our two little kiddos, Silas and Emery. A teaching position opened up here at Northern Kentucky University about 9 years ago. Candace basically dragged us up here for the best decision that we could have made, which was to start working at NKU.
No, well, we had lived in Fort Thomas for, like you said, about 7 years, and we enjoyed the neighborhood. We loved our very tiny house that was our starter home, and we were bursting at the seams with 2 children. You know, after just kind of a little soul searching, we realized we'd already spent so much of our time here. Before making a lot of friends in the area, you know, I got my hair done at 501. I went to Avenue Brew for their Highlander grog, and you know, we realized, you know, once we had established these connections and made some very close friends, we had lived in Fort Thomas, but we were really starting to take root here in Bellevue. So why would we live somewhere else and drive here every weekend?
Another big appeal to us was really things like the community garden and the community potlucks. It felt like here was going to be a great place that our kids would get a good education, that they would have a good quality of life, but where they could also get civically engaged.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we were already spending so much of our time here, why not go ahead and really invest in it, not just kind of be weekend tourists here, but become part of the community and see what we can do, you know, to continue to make it great. So since we've moved here, you know, of course, John has started the Choose Bellevue videos. We've been involved in the community garden. We go to the potluck every month. I'm on the Education Foundation board, and
You know, Bellevue is, you know, small enough that if you want to just kind of have a, you know, a fun life and not do anything too crazy, it's great. You know, you can go down and enjoy some things on the avenue, but it's also small enough that it's only 1 square mile. It's small enough that if you want to be an active part in the community, there's always something here. There's room for something. Making sure the kids are not killing themselves down there. There's always, there's the opportunity to do something, to get involved in something. And make a difference. And honestly, that's been one of the things that has continued to be a draw to us, as each year it's like, okay, what is something new that we can get the kids involved in that teaches them that there is more to life than just going to school, just being involved in this activity. It's also, how do you kind of make the community you live in a better place?
Well, and a great example of that is Silas is in the Little Hoopsters program. So, you know, he's still wearing his t-shirt today. He's
going to be a basketball star someday, and I mean that with every bit of sarcasm.
He's starting to learn how to dribble the ball at least like 3 times in a row before it gets away from him. But he's learning about, you know, being part of a team. And I think it's great that the high school, the girls basketball team, they're the coaches. So it's letting them become involved in something in their community. Our son Silas is 5, and he's in kindergarten at Grandview. If you ask him his favorite thing about the school, he'll tell you everything.
Yeah, it's active. It's like a super active class.
It is. Well, I mean, that's one of the things that kind of sealed the deal and made us move here was, you know, we were trying to decide if this was, you know, where we wanted to, not just where we wanted to be, but where we wanted to raise our kids. And we got a walk through on a Friday evening. The superintendent, Rob Smith, and then Julie Fisher, who's on the school board, they took us on a walkthrough of the school. We were sold. We felt that personal touch of someone actually taking the time on a Friday afternoon in the summertime, you know, when they should be enjoying their time off.
It was really getting that tour, getting the answers that we wanted, and we realized the education system would be a good fit, combined with all the civic things that we wanted to be involved in.
We walked through those hallways and just kind of, we saw our kids there. And, you know, we saw them growing up and, you know, thriving.
Well, and I think a large part is because it reminded us of what our own schools were like. Yeah. You know, as kids, like, you know.
We both we went to very small schools in the middle of the country. So we've got that, but, you know, this close to Cincinnati. So. Well, honestly, that's the whole reason that you started this, is because we had those, you know, we had friends who showed us exactly, you know, what all the great things were about Bellevue. And I guess we wanted to you wanted to be able to make sure that anyone who doesn't have, a buddy that they can call and tell them about what's going on in the community, this is just a chance to get a glimpse of what's going on.
Yeah.
What's so special here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big thing. I mean, we had the luxury of living half a mile over, from here, and saying like, let's go hang out at this person's house, or let's go to this. We were going to the potlucks before we even lived in Bellevue. We're going to little hoopsters, so we could see all these things. But I kept thinking, like, what about that person who lives 9 hours away? I want to be able to talk to them about. They're accepting a job in the area, and they need to learn. They're looking for a home. So I wanted to be able to, talk to them, tell that person 9 hours away why this is such a good community.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for people, is to. I want people to know that that is a great community. It's a great community of choice.
Yeah.
But it's also a great community that if you've lived here your whole life, be proud of the things that you have done to continue to make it a good community. Because there are people who Bellevue is their home, and it's been their home for 4 generations. I mean, they've lived in the same house that they grew up in, that their parents had, the multi-generational stuff. And for those folks, as far as the Choose Bellevue aspect, it's like, thanks for
they continue
laying
to
those
choose
foundations. They continue to choose it, and so I hope, somebody checking out these videos would realize, like, what? As I'm looking at areas, here's a town that's got a great history to it, but it's also just a really good community. It's, I love the idea of breaking dirt with my neighbors at a community garden. So I'm going to join up and help in the community garden. I love the idea of walking around and grabbing a book from a little library.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna settle there. So.
I guess the common theme with all of it is that everything is so welcoming. It's not just hi, look at what a cute town we are. It's like, hi, look at what a great community we are. Come be a part of it. Yeah. So we felt welcome from the first day that we joined a picnic down at Bellevue Beach Park, and a couple of weeks later, that was our first time really being involved with other families in the neighborhood. And a couple of weeks later, it was like, hey, invite those people that came. They were pretty cool, and it just kind of went from there. And little did they know we'd be sticking around. So we're not going anywhere.
Is that the end quote right there? We're not going anywhere.
I think so. No.
Maybe we should try to make it sound a little less
John Gibson
ominous.
Mayor 2030. Well, I have no idea if there's a mayoral election 2030. But there will be when I rule everything.
Is there coffee still in that?
I'm pretty sure there's
so
like.
cold.
For a second, I thought it was
so
empty,
cold.
and you're like, Mayor 2030, empty cup.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you
It's so
a
cold.
secret, which is why he's been the way he is. It's straight bourbon.